Okay, morning safety meeting here at the Tim Hortons across the street from the job site. Look who we ran into. he brought his pump. I already gave you a hat. Do I still have to clean the pump?
Yep.
If you follow the channel, you know that Ian won a competition. Oh, look, it's already clean.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Guess your helper did that too, huh? Wow. The only reason you won is because all your fanboys. Ian has a loyal following of fanboys that voted for his pump even though my hopper's cleaner.
How about this? Instead of cleaning the cab, how about you clean the compressor?
Oh, the Milwaukee compressor?
Yeah.
No, I think I gotta do the cab.
Oh.
That's what we promised the people, right? Fine. But I'm gonna show you something here. I need to introduce you to my friend. And don't judge me for how crammed this toolbox is. This isn't my regular pump. I want to introduce you want to hold it? To Little Hercules, also known as Lil Herc. This reminds me of a scene from a certain movie from the 80s about a Cuban drug dealer in Miami.
Yeah, say hello to my little friend.
You got it, yeah. Okay, so today we're gonna go pump some more topping floors where we had the horrible buildup in the hopper, horrible washouts, but I'm gonna show them what we brought today. So we brought Lil Herc and also brought a fully loaded bottle of Alliance anti-stick. I don't think it's gonna work any better than the bentonite for this application. Bentonite that I've been using. Stay. But our buddy Dan in the last video commented that we were rookies because we didn't just oil the hopper and it all would have fallen right out. Yeah, so we're mostly here to prove a point to Dan. Now I gotta see if Sid preloaded the hopper here with sand. Let's see. Oh, you did. Yeah. Kind of a piss poor job. Okay, I better grab some donuts, head to the ready mix plant, butter the batch man up, and stack this thing with sand is what we need to do. It's the right thing to do, right? Right. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll rewad, and there we go. You sure you don't want a donut?
That looks really good.
Take a donut. Come on, fatty. Is it gonna be weird that I bring the Batchman 11 donuts? Oh, you took the honey cruller?
Thank you.
Do you actually like those? I thought, or are you doing that just to mess with me?
What do you mean? You don't like honey cruller?
The worst donut Tim Hortons makes. They're awful.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh my.
They're horrendous. What? I sucked one back through the hose and there's a bunch of pushback weirdos like you saying that they actually enjoy the honey cruller. You ready for it? You ready for it? I pulled the bag out of the bottom out of the bag. Here we go. We'll rewad, and there we go.
The cooler's awesome.
No, it's like a overly sugared croissant.
Which
is what
one
it
is
is.
your favorite then?
In this batch, God, they didn't give us a lot of variety. They really stiffed us here. 3 honey crullers and 3 old-fashioned cake. This is the worst batch ever. This is the big Tim Hortons middle fingers what they gave us. Probably apple fritter here. Yeah, this is a bad batch.
What's that? Is that Boston cream?
Boston cream, that's okay. But yeah, that's why you don't ever just give them free rein and say assorted. Because they're going to give you all the ones that they know they won't sell by day's end otherwise. Fun fact, from a person that used to work at Tim Hortons told me this, by far the top seller is the Boston cream. If you don't know, now you know. Before I go, you want to show me something? What? I sent Ian a video of my newly refreshed hopper yesterday.
Look at that. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh.
What are you using for oil? Are you using the anti-stick, the new stuff?
I didn't oil it.
Oh, really? The water just beads off steel like that, does it?
Okay, yeah, I oiled it.
Wow. You know, you're doing such a good job. I ordered 4 of the Goodson Super Scrapers, you know, the carbide ones.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll give you one, and I'll also grant you privilege to the 55-gallon drum of Alliance anti-stick oil.
Okay.
As long as you promise to keep your hopper better than mine. That's not
Look,
bad.
look at the grates.
It's not bad, but there's guys that literally polish those by hand, so.
You know what I was using? I was using that wire brush.
Oh, it works good too. I like the rough grit flapper disc thingamabobber on the angle grinder is my favorite, but a lot of guys swear by the wire wheel. Not bad, man. Not bad. Wow, even under the cutting ring there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, this guy's next level. He's out to get me. Out to get me.
No, you're out to get me.
I'm out to get even. I'm not even angry, I'm out to get even. All right, here we go. The sand mecca. Man, those Tim Hortons donuts go a long way. Always be nice to your ready mix drivers, people. Always be nice to your drivers. I'm gonna stack some more sand up against the back of this hopper here. Sid threw a bunch in yesterday, but I think from driving it settled to the bottom. I need stuff back in the corners. So we're gonna load up. All right, so we're looking pretty darn good here. Stacked up right to the top of the hopper across the back. It's sand in all those areas that are build up, or prone to build up. Maybe throw another shovel over there maybe, but overall pretty good. Then we'll just treat the rest of the hopper here with the Alliance anti-stick. I gotta say, there was something I saw at the show in Germany, the Bauma show, that's really cool. The Instatic 3D concrete pump, because they pump a really low slump at a low pour rate. There's actually an insert for the Putzmeister hopper. It's like looked like a nylon insert.
Hopper on top of which looks a bit more smaller. There's a material in there which makes it non-sticky.
Oh, so that's to minimize buildup.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can imagine that that's also why we have two vibrators in general. The material which we're using is more sticky compared to classic concrete. That's the reason we're having getting through it, and also we're having this internal passing, which makes the material going into the tubes and make it pumpable for us.
Oh, okay.
So it's a zero slump concrete which we are pumping, and it's kind of incredible.
This is almost useful for guys that pour like slip form pours.
Yes,
where
exactly.
They pour for weeks at a time to have a little. And did this come from another application, or you guys developed this hopper apparatus just for this?
So we worked at Putzmeister for the last 8 years on the machineries. Everything we can see here is built up exactly for this purpose.
Which gets rid of all that dead space where you normally see buildup. Look at this, he's even got guys taking his hoses up for him. Hey, don't let this guy bully you into doing things that you don't want to do.
He wanted to, he volunteered.
Yeah, don't let him bully you. If you're all uncomfortable with what he asks you to do, you can say no.
This is a good guy.
Actually, maybe don't, because I don't want to pull hoses up. I see what's going on here. First the hopper, now the hoses. What next? Oh, he's got a whole team of them. He must be more likable than I am. He's actually definitely more likable than I am. Good job, Ian, you can do it. Okay, this will be the thumbnail right here. Give a thumbs up. We'll title the video, Ian works super hard, drags 300 feet of hose to the 5th level all by himself. All right, here we go. We are all set up. Hoses are all set up top. Got the hopper all sanded up. And let's hit this with the Alliance anti-stick. That's what I have in this bottle here. We're gonna coat it thoroughly. This hopper to start with, the walls are clean, under the S tube is clean. A lot of it could use some work. To be honest, this hopper is sitting right now at about a, I'm gonna give it a 6, maybe a 6.5 on its best day. But still, we'll get a decent chance to check on the hopper walls here as our test as to how well this stuff works. Like I said, because the buildup we get from this mix is from it sitting and segregating, and then it hardens up like crazy once it separates. The oil really has nothing to do with it. It's not about keeping the hardened concrete from bonding to the metal in those high buildup areas. It's just about the buildup itself and being able to smash through it, which is why the sand really is the hot ticket. In my opinion, of course. But we're gonna soak this thing down with this oil. And I didn't apply oil under the sand because, in my opinion, the sand would just absorb it all anyhow and it'd be a waste of oil. Gonna get all the nooks and crannies. Don't die on me now, spray bottle. Are you serious? I've had this thing for like 6 months. If it decides to die now, it would be the worst timing ever. Oh, there we go. I think we just hit a little air pocket. Anytime you're working around the hopper like this, make sure that your accumulator is de-energized. As such. And that does not mean that you can climb in the hopper and monkey around in there just because the accumulator is de-energized. So the one thing I will say about having the toggle switches for the water and agitator versus the old school levers, which are mounted right to the side of the hopper. Remember where those levers sat? Because of the heat, the concrete on the back side or inside of the hopper would just bake on because of having that valving there. Not having that valving there, that is the one positive that comes from it. It's about the only one I can think of, but anyhow, yeah, we were pretty well soaked in this product. The key here is going to be to leave it on. Leave it on all day. Don't let anybody rinse it off. Just leave it be. Let it get ugly. Leave it on there. What I'm going to do today, I'm actually running the pump all day here, so I'm going to do it my way. And just be diligent in every load. Maybe I'll run the hopper down a little bit. And if there's any buildup that I can knock in without, you know, knocking anything in there that's going to be significant enough to cause a plug, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stay on top of it rather than just letting it sit right full all day long, which is what I used to do with this stuff, with the sand and the bentonite. I just let it sit all day long, let it get ugly, and it would smack right out of there at the bar at day's end. But mixes have obviously changed over the years, and this mix that we're using here doesn't respond well to that technique. It resulted in a lot of elbow grease, blood, sweat, and almost tears at day's end. So we'll stay on top of it. We'll check in a couple times here throughout the day and see how this looks at day's end. And like I said, I'm really curious to see how the anti-stick, how it performs against the back walls of the hopper here. The bentonite works really well, but you do need a lot of water pressure to peel off the buildup. From my experience with anti-stick, it's a little bit easier to rinse off at day's end. We'll see with this mix if it's robust enough to maintain that barrier. So stay tuned. Well, before we get started here, I do have to give a big shout out to Tony in the shop for building me a nice new 2" by 2" mesh hopper screen. So that will filter out about 95% of what would plug us in a 2" hose. This material actually is a little bit finer gauge wire than our previous screens that we built. I guess different supplier this time, which I like because it's going to allow more material more easily to pass through it. Doesn't matter so much with this high flow stuff, but our regular work where we're using regular 30 MPa 1/2" crushed stone concrete, it does tend to hang up on the grate. I think this one will be an improvement in that regard. But thanks again to Tony in the shop. One of those and one of those.
That's a fiber. Once it will mix properly, it mixes like your hair.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's what those become.
Yeah.
These little buggers right here. Those little squares.
Once it will become mixed properly, it's just like your hair.
Huh.
Microfibers.
But I got pretty nice hair, so
Yeah,
you see the balls we're getting.
You can see that one on the mix, huh?
Can you see the? Can you see it in the mix?
Yeah, you can see that one. Fibers.
You have better eyes than me. I can't see it. But they're in there. I believe you. We're getting little balls. You figure that's because we got a couple wet bags, right? So you see the little squares there?
Yeah, that squares, once it mixed properly, becomes like a hair, right here. I'll show you what I got.
Okay, show me the hair. We'll get this wet. See what it does. get it wet and it kind of becomes not square. Can't say I see the hairs, but I believe them. And yeah, that's for this this topping mix to reduce cracking. The little microfibers there help a lot. No, they're so micro I can't see the fibers.
Yeah.
They're so fine. Next time I'll bring the microscope.
Yeah, you can't see the one.
I want to throw some cheese, some pepperoni, you know, green peppers, anchovies. Deluxe spread test pizza pie. So what we're going to do here, I will monitor across the back of the hopper. That's that shelf I built out of sand. We'll monitor that and decide if we want to knock that down at all midday. But yeah, I think that's going to be our strategy, is just trying to run the hopper down every once in a while and check on it. And if the stuff is building up like it was before, maybe we try and scrape it off. I don't know. It'll be kind of play as we go here. Lots of dry balls today. Oh yeah, always wear gloves. This concrete will burn your hands. And I'm not going to run the hopper grade vibe today because my thoughts are that contributes to that segregation across the back. So we're going to go without the hopper vibe all day today. That's the plan. All right, so we ran the first truck out, pump the hopper right down nice and low, and more dry ball. Just gonna leave all this stuff across the back for now. I don't think I want to mess with it. Maybe I'll grab a stick and knock a bit of that down. We'll see how it is. Maybe I'll do that after the next load. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Next load, we'll do a little tidy up. We'll do a little touch up with our anti-stick. The drivers have been great about not rinsing it off. I used to actually have a sign on the lid of this pump that said something to the extent of, this pump has been treated with an anti-stick agent. Please, no rinsing. And it actually worked really, really well. I got to get one back up there now that we're back on the Alliance anti-stick program. You see here, this is only the second load. We've only been at this for not even an hour. And the way this stuff separates the back of the hopper, it's firm. I'm not going to knock that down. That's going to be potential plugs. Not yet, but we'll just keep going. But yeah, I'm wondering, having all that sand, that's going to pull a little bit of moisture out of the concrete that comes in contact with it and tighten it up a little bit quicker too. But yeah, we're just going to stick with the plan. Let it get, leave it be at the back of the hopper here, and we'll attack it with little Hercules at day's end. As I mentioned in previous videos, this stuff does pump at a relatively high pressure for how wet and sloppy it is. It definitely does have some resistance to it just because of all the chemicals. Whew. Thank God for Uncle Tony's famous hopper screen. I couldn't imagine hitting the pour like this without having that secondary screen. This down and check in on our hopper. All right, let's do a little hopper check here while we wait for the next truck to back on. Pull our screen up, get a better look. Oh yeah. Yeah, the stuff in the corners, right? The usual buildup. I do wonder if we didn't stack the sand and just use oil and sand right under the back bearing of the tube at the bottom of the hopper, and under the S tube, if we wouldn't get the concrete sticking there. I still think that we would. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to try in a future pour where we won't use the sand at all. Let's see. We'll see how today's washout goes, and we'll evaluate from there. But you see, up in the corners there, right? We're getting those big hunks and chunks already. I'm not going to mess with that stuff because, like I said, I don't want to create debris and try and pump it through the lines here.
Once you see those dry bolts coming out,
all right, this is load 4 of 5 and possibly 6. So we're humming along here. As you can see, because we're short rigged, we have the OSS set to driver's side as the working side, which limits us from the middle of the hopper to in line with the front outrigger leg. You can see here, it'll stop us right about in line with this leg. We're almost there. We got a few more degrees of working range. It's funny, some of the comments are pushback, if you will, to those whom are unfamiliar with the new full flex ISA system, worried about safety redundancies and whatnot. That system takes OSS in terms of safety and amplifies it 5-fold. So far safer even than this pre-existing system, which doesn't have nearly the capabilities. So that's my thoughts on the innovation of the ISA full flex. There's just a lot of features in it that give the operator real-time feedback as to exactly what is going on, and a ton of safety redundancies. You would have to be a person whom should probably not even be near heavy equipment to put yourself in a situation using that system that is unsafe. We'll put it that way. All right, last few wheelbarrows of concrete. Pull this thing out, pump back in the mixer, suck our sponges back, and we'll
pump off a sec.
Pump off.
Give it a couple strokes, go ahead and pump.
Couple strokes, make up your mind, Ian, and then we'll wash this thing out. All right, let's yank a couple sponges back. Stopper pin down. Yes, this remote is absolutely filthy. I claim no responsibility for this, even though ultimately I'm responsible for this. We'll work on that, I promise. Okay, full volume reverse. First ball, rip it back, just get it home. And of course it's going to do its stroke correction right now of all times. That is very interesting. and unusual. Well, you don't like that. Yeah, which is almost unheard of with this mix. Wow, okay, well, easy fix. You hear that ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk? That's the ball stuck, so here we go. Oh, there it goes. Just moved the boom that tiny little bit and away it went. Okay, now we got it. But yeah, this stuff is very prone to segregation. So just a little bit of water will separate it. We put no water in front of that first sponge, so that's really interesting that it got stuck. It could just be from pumping out. Just from pumping out back in the mixer, it might have separated the stuff a little bit. Okay, water. All right. We'll just go nice and slow with that one while we button everything back up here. Point of note, when you're slinging the reducers to the boom, carabiners are no good. You need a rated hook. This is a really nice one. I like this hook. It's got like a double locking safety mechanism on it. Properly weight rated. Those carabiners aren't rated for jack squat, so don't ever use a carabiner there. In here, our sponge is back, the second one. Hear that echo when it shifts over. There it is. Throw this whip hose back on full. Yeah, that first sponge being stuck, presumably in the elbows between C and D sections, just moving that boom a little bit is enough to break it free. Typically, I'll have to get a couple sections of vertical and it'll come right back down, but we got off easy today. All right, step one, verify that both sponges are back before we dump the hopper. That way, if they're not back, I've still got enough concrete in the hopper that I have vacuum to pull the sponges back the rest of the way, if need be. Otherwise, I dump this hopper out and I find my sponges aren't all the way back. I gotta top it up with water, a bunch of my water. And it just takes time. Pain in the butt. Sponge number one, and oh, it's really in there. That's the one that got stuck and fired back. Like I said, see how this stuff can segregate really easily? I'm sure that's what happened. Like that. Set those down there. Are you ready for the wagoosh? Here comes the wagoosh. Wagoosh. There was a hole in the pan. I was hoping that bag, I pinned it with some broken bricks. I was hoping to get pinned to the bottom and seal the hole in the pan. Fail. Okay, boom up. Let's see what we got. Ian, would you be so kind as to grab little Hercules for me?
Think we'll need them?
Oh yeah. First things first, we'll get the material cylinders in the S-tube. Look at that build up even in the S-tube. That is what this mix does. Got a little bump with our bar. Always be careful in around there. Where I'm hammering on, that's the hardened surface hardened transition rings there, not up into the chrome area of the cylinder. So be careful around the chrome. You chip that, big buck. Okay, so that one's clean. Drop her down, shift her over, we'll get the other side. Okay. They don't have nearly the same buildup on the other side, which is interesting. That could sometimes allude to a poor seal at the cutting ring or wear plate. This all appears to be in good shape though. Very interesting. The mysteries of concrete. Inside here, so you got little cookies. Yeah. Let's finish flushing all this out, then we'll attack the inside of the hopper. All right, it's probably time for a little Hercules here. Let's see what we got. The stuff that was coated with the Alliance stop stick, that actually works way better than the bentonite. So none of that light film is stuck at all. It comes right off. So that's a win. I could sit here all day with this water pressure and probably get a good bit of this stuff out, or or get a big boy action here. Nice long chipping bit, so you don't have to get your extremities in there amongst the agitator, any of the dangerous stuff. Yeah, the sand's doing its thing today. You want to give a little Herc a try? Yeah. Hey, here. I'll shift her over. I'll drop the grate down and shift her over. Flip her down. Here we go. Yeah, everything where the Alliance anti-stick was just peels right off. Man. So, I think Little Hercules definitely performed today compared to what we were using before. The sand worked better, way better today. The star of the show, and we are in no way endorsed by these folks, Ian can attest to this, is the Alliance anti-stick. Yep. Versus the bentonite, all across the back of the hopper and the grate, it came off way easier than it does when we dust with bentonite. And your hopper has been looking so good. He's been doing such a good job. Well, the outside could use some love, but inside, I think we're gonna fix you up with your own supply of Alliance anti-stick. Yeah.
So do I get like a big 55 gallon?
Yeah, I'll keep a 55 gallon on the drum. I think we should actually fill your water tank with it. And then anytime you need a dousing, you just pull your water hose out and give her a blast, right?
Oh,
sounds pretty smart to me. Anyhow. Very expensive. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, this thing obviously works great. The long bit is super handy for keeping your extremities out of harm's way when you're having to do this. But the anti-stick Alliance product worked awesome here. I'd be curious to try it just coating the whole hopper on the anti-stick and not using the sand, just to see what it would do. And maybe on the next pour here, maybe we'll give that a try. Not this time around, but next time we'll give that a whirl. All right, one last look before signing off. And yeah, this hopper is not even gonna say that it's functionally clean. This is just a dirty hopper. But we left it cleaner than we found it, which is good. I'm gonna call this one, this is a 5.5. She needs some restoration. It's a 6 on its best day. The lid's horrible. I guess the walls aren't bad. The scabbies bother me. Underside of the grate's okay. The hopper grate bars are terrible. Yeah, I don't know, 5.5, 6. What would you guys give it? Anyhow, like I said, cleaner than we found it, so we achieved that. Okay, so this is just way too good to keep a secret. So after driving about 30 miles back to the yard here on the freeway speeds, you know, we're talking 55, 60 mile an hour. Get back, pull up to unlock the gate, and what do I notice that is dangling on the ground? Somehow it came out of its little holster here. A little tough to do with one hand here. Come on, get out of there. Come on. That's it. Well, it wasn't actually dangling on the ground. What it was doing was sitting right on the back step in this condition. So my guess is when I got to a stoplight, some fellow motorist was kind enough to jump out and retrieve it from the asphalt for me. Well, look at the condition of this thing. It's like 30 miles down the freeway, right? So what are we gonna do? Let's flash our water up here and give her a test. And my buddy Lionel, who recommended these hose nozzles to me, had said that they would endure such a thing, or so he had heard. Look at this. Oh yeah. Doesn't skip a beat. That is a hose nozzle, friends. The actual brass structure, it barely even got into. So yeah. Yeah, super expensive. Wicked spray pattern. Super durable. Just make sure you holster properly. It's so heavy it'll pull the hose reel out and it'll drag on the ground. I guess it must have popped out of the rope or something. I don't know what it did. Sid's gonna kill me for this one. But what a testament to the Aircon hose nozzle. I think it's called an Aircon. I'll insert a link for it up here somewhere. Best damn hose nozzle you could ever spend money on. Promise you that. Anyhow, you go. Till next time, keep on pumping. Yeah, like Ian said, one of these, one of those, one of those. Catch you on the next one.